Hey guys, and I hope you guys are doing okay today. Today I'll be rating the new Shrine Secrets, Wednesday the 24th of March 2021. If you guys are new to this series, what I do each week, I go over the new Shrine Secrets, I rate the perks out of 10 and give my reason why, and at the end of the video, I recommend one perk you guys should buy off the shrine. I'm not fucking sure what my voice was then, but yeah, fucking hell. And if you guys are new to I already said that, fuck, I'm losing what I'm saying. Check the description, I do apologise. Please check the description. Go ahead and follow Sailing Source's TikTok, helping get to 300 followers. He has uploaded really good DVD montages, better edits than I can fucking do. I'm not even like lying. Go ahead and check them out. Show love on all of them if you guys can. That'll mean a lot to me, and it'll definitely mean a lot to Sailing. And yeah, let's just jump right into today's run. So the first perk is Borough Time. This is Bill's teachable perk. So basically what this perk does, if you're in a killer's terror radius and you have the perk equipped and you're the person who saves, so the person who saves who has the perk equipped, Borough Time, in a killer's terror radius, the survivor who gets saved, they get the endurance stats effect, so that means they can take an extra hit. So if a killer hits them while they're injured, they don't go down, they go into the mend state, so it's basically like an extra life in that sense. You guys kind of get the point. It's basically like you're healed. Then they have to heal with like a certain timer. It doesn't really matter about what the timer is. I believe they're borrowed time for at level 1 10 seconds, at level 2 12 seconds, and at level 3 15 seconds. And then they have like 20 seconds to fucking mend themselves, I believe. But yeah, anyways, what I rate this perk out of 10? Probably an 8. I know that's a bit high, actually 8's really high, but probably an 8. I think this perk's really fucking meta for Survivor, especially if you're a squad, a 4-man or 3-man, or even a fucking 2-man. This perk is meta. Killers who camp at the end because they have no choice, or they feel like they have no choice because it's the end of the match. They don't really want to lose anything. They have nothing to lose in that sense, so they camp because they might as well try and secure at least a 1k just to get themselves a few extra points, and maybe even lure the survivors there to try and get all of them down, especially with like a bobber. But Borough Time could basically negate down most killers, not saying all of them, if they face camping. Not all killers, because Bubba, it wouldn't really counter it, because Bubba's always going to get a free down with his chainsaw, unless the player is stupid. But that's not Bubba, that's just the player. But most killers Bubba, Borrowed Story will have an effect on, which I think this perk is meta, and it basically guarantees everyone out once Borrowed happens, because if you're a squad, you say to the person with Borrowed, everyone takes hits, then your happy days, you guys leave them in the exit. It's pretty simple. The perk is just really fucking meta. I think it's highly unbalanced, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, let's move on to the second perk. So the second perk is called Hex Retribution. This is the Deathslinger's teachable perk. So what this perk does, basically any survivor who cleanses a dull totem will suffer from the Oblivious stat effect. If you're not sure what the Oblivious stat effect is, it's when the killer has no terror radius, you don't hear it, so you don't hear the chase music, but you still see the red stain. You guys gonna get it? And any survivor who cleanses the dull totem will suffer from this for at level 1 35 seconds, at level 2 40 seconds, and at level 3 45 seconds. If any hex totem is cleansed, including in this one, the auras of all survivors are revealed for 10 seconds. What I rate this perk out of 10? Probably a 4. This perk isn't terrible, but it's not decent. Let me basically say why. Well, let's think of it. So you're in a chase, or you're just playing as killer in general. And let's say when they, I'm not going to talk about the dull totem one, that's just stupid. The aura one, so when they cleanse any hex totem you own, including Retribution itself, you guys probably think, wow, this sounds really cool, seeing an aura for 10 seconds, or altogether 40 seconds if you have all hex perks, which is kind of weird, but my opinion. 40 seconds, now you're probably thinking, wow, fucking altogether, if you can get 40 seconds, or the situation as fuck, 40 seconds of aura seeing, that's really good. Well, not really. I mean, it may come in handy if you're in a chase with someone, but you don't need to use a fucking perk just to help you out in a chase when you probably spend a lot of time in that chase. Also, the perk situational, you're relying on them to cleanse a hex totem you have. Now you guys are probably thinking, okay, well, hex totems statistically get cleansed most of the times. Yes, you're correct. But this perk isn't good. Now you guys are probably thinking as well, but we can get 40 seconds of aura seeing. Well, that's using 4 perks. Hex perks. None of them are legit. None of them are viable as fuck, and it's just a gimmicky build, so I don't really see that as viable in my opinion. And 10 seconds isn't terrible, I'm not saying that. I would have rated it 0 if it's terrible. But it's... You're using a whole perk just to see 10 seconds of an aura once a match if you're using just this Hex alone. What? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe if you're using Haunted, then yeah, it may be a bit better, but that's still 2 Hex perks. And the Haunted situation was fuck. Might as well run Barbecue, you know? Or even Immortal Is. It doesn't rely on 1 Hex totem. Immortal Is just has a small cooldown, and Barbecue has no cooldown. Just in my opinion, obviously I'm trying to be brutally honest here. So I don't think this perk's terrible, but I don't think it's decent. Let's move on to the third perk. So the third perk is called Tenacity. This is Detective Tap's teachable perk. So what this perk does, this perk basically allows you to crawl at level 1 30% faster, at level 2 40% faster, and at level 3 50% faster, obviously when you're on the floor, and recover at the same time. Would I rate this perk out of 10? Probably a 4 as well. As I said, not terrible but not decent. Why? I mean, yeah, it only basically allows you to crawl a bit faster and recover at the same time. Now, this perk with Unbreakable is actually really good, but that's only 2 perks. The reason I don't think this is terrible because this perk's actually really viable with the pallet build. You know what I mean? That pallet perk, I forgot what it's called. And if you're using this to crawl to the pallet and recover at the same time, and have flip-flop on top of it, and Unbreakable to maybe recover quicker, you don't really need Unbreakable with it, then yeah, this perk will help out a lot, because I think this perk personally is the second best in that whole pallet build. Obviously the best is the pallet perk, off topic kind of, but yeah, I don't think this perk's terrible. I think this perk's mainly good in gimmicky builds. Gimmicky builds are fun, but they're not really serious if you're trying to run a serious build. And this perk is not serious, so if you want to use this perk to have fun, definitely this perk could be in a lot of gimmicky builds, which makes it fun. But if you're actually trying to have a serious build, then I don't really recommend getting this perk, just my opinion. Let's move on to the fourth and final perk. So the fourth and the final perk is called Ascension Tactics. This is the only teachable perk. So what this perk does, you can see the auras of pallets, breakable walls and windows in a range of like 24 meters I believe. And it has a cooldown, by the way, of at level 1 30 seconds. Wait, hold up. Level 40 seconds, sorry. At level 2 35 seconds, and at level 3 30 seconds. Now this perk recently got buffed, and it's still pretty shit. This perk got recently buffed. It was like 45-second cooldown, now it's 30 seconds, so a minor buff, although it needs way more of a bigger buff. And what I rate this perk out of 10? Probably a 1, honestly. Literally the same for Windows Opportunity. Now I've actually discussed a month ago, I believe, of the state of Windows Opportunity, because this perk is literally Windows of Opportunity just for killer. And I made a whole little rant on that, but it's just so stupid. I don't know. So if you're actually trying to learn towers and use this perk, and that's why I rate it at 1 for the people who are trying to learn tiles for killer and survivor. So if you're trying to learn tiles for killer, obviously use this perk. If you're trying to learn tiles for survivor, use that perk. But it's weird because there's a cooldown. Now you guys probably thinking, wow, we can see the auras all game, but think of it, at a high level, if you know every tile, then that's basically the same thing, because you already know what the tiles are, so it's literally the same as the high level. So I don't understand why they're throwing a cooldown on the people who are trying to learn tiles, because if you already know every tile and using this perk, it's useless. That's a waste of perk slot for you, and it isn't even OP. If anything, it's a fucking a nerf. But yeah, I just think this perk's really bad. I don't think it needs a cooldown. You're almost getting punished because this perk's viable for only people who are trying to learn the game. You're almost getting punished for trying to learn tiles. Yeah. Now I understand if it punished you with a cooldown if you did bad movement, like let's say you vaulted a window really badly from a shit angle. Let's just say, I'm talking about survivor by the way. Let's just say you get hit through a pallet. Then yeah, them kind of things cool. I still don't think it deserves a punishment anyway, but a nerf, whatever you call it, a cooldown anyway. And for Ascension Tactics, how can they fix that? Well, let's say you have a cooldown if you refuse to break a god pallet. I don't know, or let's just say you vault a window at the wrong time. Or just no cooldown at all, because why the fuck's it need a cooldown? What are you punishing them for using the perk? This perk ain't even strong. That's what worries me the most. You're fucking putting a cooldown on the perk that ain't even strong. Fucking hell. Well, I do apologise for all the people who are trying to learn tiles, because you want to get punched with a cooldown every fucking second, it feels like. Which is a shame, because the devs don't care. And apparently they buffed this perk. It doesn't really feel like a buff, and it was a really minor perk. This perk needs a massive buff. Get rid of the fucking cooldown. There you go, that's a good buff. Fucking hell. Anyways, I do apologise for getting pissed. It just annoys me when the devs just fucking just put cooldowns on shit perks. It makes me rate them low, which kind of sucks. But anyways, everything I've been saying in this whole video is my opinion completely. Just try and take advice from me if you try to learn perks. That's what I've been doing this series for like 6 months now. Or more than 6 months, 7 8 months. So I've been doing this series for nearly a year already, which is kind of crazy to think of it. But anyways, let's move on to the final thing of today's video, which is one perk I recommend you guys bound to shrine. So the one perk I recommend you guys bound to shrine Wednesday, the 24th of March 2021, is obviously Borough Time. Yeah, I already said why, but borrowed is obviously borrowed is the obvious answer. Sorry, Ascension Tactics, just as a waste. I mean, why are you gonna get punished? Tenacity is gimmicky, and Retribution is situational. With borrowed, it's gonna save you because this perk is at its best at the end, and that's when killers. And this is when it'll save you when killers are camping at the end. So if you want like a 4-man, if you're on a 4-man, you want everyone out, run Borough Time. Pretty simple. Anyways, what do you guys rate this shrine out of 10? I rate it probably a 3, which is a shame because most of the shrines have been doing lately are shit. Like barely even a good perk. Like at least we got fucking Borough to try and save the shrine. But anyways, yeah, as I said, you guys rate it. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Follow Ascension TikTok. I'll leave it in the description. Click on it. He has uploaded really good fucking edits, better than my edits. I'm not gonna lie. So please show all the love and support. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to him. And yeah, stay safe in these hard times, and I'll see you guys next week on the next run. Peace.